for our main event of the evening. The problem child, Jake Paul. Nathan Diaz. Let's.
The night the internet nearly broke, the long-awaited crossover fight between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Jake Paul finally took place, but it wasn't the thriller fans were expecting. Under the bright DAZN lights and surrounded by massive hype, the U2 returned fighter walked away with a shocking majority decision victory, once again sending waves through the boxing world. This bout was less of a tactical chess match and more of a clear power mismatch. Let's break it down round by round, because this fight exposed the harsh reality of what happens when a natural cruiserweight steps into the ring with a lightweight legend.
The wait is over. It's ready for war. Live from Dallas, Texas, it's go time!
Right from the opening bell, the size difference was impossible to ignore, as Jake Paul looked absolutely massive next to Tank, making the physical gap not just visible but unavoidable.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe
it.
About it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world.
It immediately became a problem, keeping Tank at bay from the opening seconds. Tank tried to stay low and slip inside, but Jake wasn't giving him that chance. This was exactly what analysts had warned about for weeks, and even Terrence Crawford had said it himself. Fighting someone with that kind of physical advantage is dangerous, not because Jake is a better boxer, but because physics alone starts to matter when a 135-pound fighter is facing someone that much bigger.
Happened with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. You know, if it's scripted, then it's gonna be good for the fans to watch.
What do you mean by scripted? Like rigged?
Yeah, like scripted. Like,
but none of those guys want a fucking L, right?
I think it's not a real fight. I think it's because it can't be a real fight because they ain't in the same weight. So it'd be more like an exhibition.
I think it is an exhibition, but do you think they're like, but not one person saying like, yo, I'm gonna fucking throw the match? You think?
I don't think.
Or you never know?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go in there and spar. I don't think it's gonna be you trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's let's go in here and make this money. You know, it's more of a business tactic than anything.
Had to choose someone to win that fight. Who do you think wins?
Honestly, I think Jake by youth.
Really?
Yeah.
But every time Tank tried to close the distance, Jake's jab met him halfway. In round 2, Tank came out more aggressive, clearly tried to make a statement by throwing combinations to test Jake's defense. However, credit where it's due, Jake stayed composed, using his jab and digging to the body to slow Tank down. Tank may have underestimated Jake's abilities, and he probably regrets ever calling him a clown.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I'd laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough?
Yeah, would you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right now.
Ake was eating Tank's punches like they were light taps, and it was clear why. The massive weight difference. Jake walks around close to 200 pounds, while Tank, even fully hydrated, barely cracks 145. Every time Jake landed, Tank felt it. Every time Tank landed, Jake brushed it off. And that was exactly what everyone said would happen in a Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but
Jake has better
Paul.
boxing.
now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
Gervonta is fucking sick.
I mean, yeah. No, but dude,
Did you
Jake.
ever watch his highlights?
Jake can
He's
crack,
nasty,
man.
bro. He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
Jake was eating Tank's punches like they were light taps, and the reason was obvious, the massive weight difference. Jake walked around close to 200 pounds, while Tank, even fully hydrated, barely reaches 145. So every clean shot Jake landed made Tank feel it, while Tank's punches were easily brushed off, exactly as many predicted going into the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight. By round 4, Tank began to show signs of slowing down, and that's when Mike Perry's pre-fight words started echoing in people's minds, as he bluntly said weeks earlier that Tank was falling out of love with boxing, and in the ring he didn't look fully locked in, appearing more like a man doing a job than someone fighting for glory.
Jake is big, Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Rhodes performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Meanwhile, Jake did exactly what everyone expected, using his size and physicality to dominate the fight. Tank, to his credit, never went down, but it was clear that the punches were taking a toll, while Jake's confidence only grew with each passing round, a confidence he had carried long before they even stepped into the ring.
I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on
wow.
Netflix. Let's go. People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good fight. November 14th, Netflix.
In round 7, Tank finally had a few moments of success, slipping Jake's jab and landing some crisp left hands over the top. But even when he connected cleanly, Jake just smiled and kept moving forward, showing that Tank's power, which had dominated opponents in his own division, simply didn't translate up. From that point on, Jake began walking Tank down relentlessly. No more feeling out, no more testing range. He stalked him through non-stop combinations and forced Tank on the back foot, making it clear he was fighting to survive rather than to win. All that sparring with Shakur Stevenson seemed to have paid off for Jake.
Opponent to replicate something that obviously, you know, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis. How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So wow. Just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, you know, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Every time Jake landed, the ropes rattled and the crowd went wild, exactly as Dana White had warned long ago. Dana had said it best. Jake should be fighting opponents his own size, because no matter how entertaining a fight looks, bouts like these are mismatches at their core.
Is the burnt bridge with my brother unfixable?
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fucking ate it. He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Who do you got?
Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than Floyd, but he's too small. Your brother's gonna be able to get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up.
I hear your critique on fighting guys the same size as you. Is that why you guys wouldn't let me fight Connor?
Yeah, you're fucking huge. Connor weighs 145 pounds, 155 pounds.
Yeah, but he says he can beat me.
By round 8, Tank looked completely exhausted, his face marked up and his body language telling the full story. He wasn't mentally present in the fight. Tim Bradley had predicted this before the bout, and it proved to be eerily accurate. Tank had mentally checked out tonight.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done, period.
When you say done, you mean like not fighting anymore? Or not?
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something so like, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing, he's not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson at all. At all. I don't care how much money Turkey offer, give him 4 Lamborghinis, whatever. Tank ain't taking that fight.
By round 9, Jake began showboating, fully aware that the fight was in the bag. Ryan Garcia had warned fans beforehand that this matchup would be a mismatch, explaining that casual viewers often don't grasp the impact of weight differences. And he was right. Everyone expected Tank, the seasoned boxer, to dominate the YouTuber, but this simply wasn't a fair fight in terms of size or power.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight.
Yeah.
You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But
Yeah.
he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis, he's actually really small. Like, when I fought him, like, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
The final round belonged entirely to Jake. He jabbed, moved strategically, and avoided taking any unnecessary risks. Tank made one last push, but it wasn't enough. When the bell rang, everyone in the arena already knew the outcome. Jake Paul had done it. Interview 13. Deep down, even Jake's biggest supporters knew this was a fight built on advantage, not equality. It showcased the power of promotion more than pure boxing skill, and as many critics pointed out afterward, this wasn't the kind of matchup the sport of boxing truly needed. Brian Garcia even commented that boxing is starting to prioritize spectacle over genuine competition.